We all victims to advertising scams? Or are we enticed to purchase what we already have?
Technology is there to play a role in your life. I don't think it exists in a vacuum. I don't think people get excited about technologies themselves. A very small minority of people do, but the vast majority of consumers don't. What they're interested in is a better life, something that's more convenient, enhanced experiences, enhanced moments, better music, better quality TV.
Your choice is huge. And obviously, there's not much to differentiate them these days, in terms of specs. So, yeah, I mean, sex sells, you have pretty girls at, in a booth to buy a TV, and that attracts you to look at the TV. I don't think it hurts. It definitely doesn't hurt, and it definitely does help. It's just how it's positioned. I mean, I've seen some very overtly, a bit too male-orientated, and then I've seen some which are very elegant, as I said, for ladies, and everything in between, from like cute girls to top-end models. It depends on what the marketing person at the time is thinking of, which is his market and how is he targeting.
Men think about sex every 7 seconds. That's commonly accepted, and that's on average. So that means that some men think about sex even more often than that. So if you look at that, it'd be quite easy to think that using sex to sell techie products would be a good thing, because it's a shortcut to human attention, at least for men. There's two problems with it. The first one is the fact that sex is not ownable. It's not a branded property. Anybody can do it. Anybody can use it. And the fact that you've done it first doesn't mean your competitors can't do it. So that's an issue in itself. But the main problem with it is that using sex to sell products is actually using borrowed interest to get people's attention. You're actually tricking your consumers. You're deceiving them. You're getting their attention on the short term by using pretty imagery of pretty ladies.
I believe, sex has been used to sell everything from the beginning of time. Does it work? I think the jury is out. I think it's a question of how it's executed. I believe it's really a question of if you're selling sex or if you're selling sexiness.
So what it will do is it will gain you short-term attention from your consumers, but the cost for that will be long-term negative lasting impression on your brand. I think there's enough interesting things to say about those products to not have to use artificial techniques such as sex or pretty ladies to sell the products. I think there's enough material to talk about. There's enough innovation. There's enough interesting things that consumers genuinely pay attention to and are interested in, so that you don't have to use sex.
Everybody's just looking for the best device, whether in terms of it looks pretty or whether it has great features like a great camera on a phone. So sex doesn't really sell, it's the features that sell. That's my opinion.
IT gadgets are no longer just plain functional items. We develop feelings for them. We get upset when our black piano finish laptop gets scratched, or we fiddle with our phones, even if there's nobody calling. And we even give identities to our gadgets. I must admit, I give female names to all my mobile phones. This one right here is Helga. I have Isabel, Angelica, and so on. And speaking of female names, it's time to meet Corinne. That's IT's first female profile of the week. Hey, Corinne.
Hi, Tim.
Hi. Hey, on my way in for this interview, I found this lunchbox looking...
Lunchbox! It's not a lunchbox.
Picnic basket. I don't know what it is.
Make a guess. Just a wild guess. It looks like margarine, right?
A lunchbox, it's like...
Okay, it's actually...
it has print copies, whatever, in there. So why don't you guys make a guess what it is? What is it?
It's a compact photo printer.
Okay.
Because it's designed based on easy storage. So it's very new in the market now. You can throw everything on cables, all the paper inside.
Okay,
and the actual printer is this one.
Okay.
This is just for storage.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting product. All right.
Yeah.
Well, what else? Other products you can live without or can't live without? This one we probably won't need unless we're going for a picnic.
The stuff that I bring around with me every day are essentially my mobile phone, my PDA, as well as my camera.
Of course.
That's why my compact photo printer works hand in hand with my camera.
Okay, so phone and PDA.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you know, there are people out there who has one PDA product. Why do you have two?
I heard that it hangs all the time if I combine both in one phone, so that's why I don't mind carrying both.
So you want to be
It's
sure
fine.
that you get
Yeah,
everything done.
I don't want all the frustrations.
Okay. And do you sleep with your mobile phone?
Absolutely. Not only with my mobile phone, but with the charger just beside my head.
Isn't that dangerous?
I don't know, because I need to charge it at night and all that. I make sure that it's within my reach. And next morning, I just grab it and just throw it inside my bag and go to work.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so yeah.
So
it's
you
very
are
important.
connected, you know, 24/7. Your boss can call you up anytime.
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow, that's very brave of you. Do you like taking pictures of yourself with your camera?
Me and my friends are not all the time myself.
So you don't go up in front of the mirror or
No.
a changing room, try on a piece of dress
No.
and take a picture or
No.
something?
But because you never know when you're going to meet your friends or when you have a very interesting lunch date or dinner date, so I bring my camera with me in my bag all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, but ever since I work in Canon, I become very fuzzy over the image quality, so a phone camera is not good enough. Then after that, I have a habit of printing out my photos. So when I go home, I'll screen through my pictures taken, I'll print it out immediately. And I'll even print a few sets and share with my friends. That's a habit, ever since I joined Canon.
All right. Thank you very
Found the
much.
joy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coming up, how do women feel?
I never seen boys with a notebook like me.
Two Indonesian cabinet ministers implicated in a corruption scandal involving the central bank. Will the president finally stop what critics call his feet dragging on eradicating graft? That's on Primetime News.
HTC Touch Diamond. There's more to touch in 3D. HTC.
你还记得你的外婆吗？妈的神经病遗传给可心了。
Is it a conspiracy or is it destiny?
她已经出现初期的精神病症状。
你是疯子！
她不疯，我们就把她给定疯了。
How can she overcome the odds to prove herself?
我真的没有疯。
The defining moment debuts 4th August, weeknights 9 p.m. on Channel 8.
Great minds team with cutting-edge technology to create smart businesses. On the next episode of Cutting Edge, travel to an idyllic sanctuary of sophistication atop a hill and witness how smart technology can work behind the scenes to further enhance every visitor's travel experience. All on Cutting Edge, Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. This program is brought to you exclusively by Canon. Canon, delighting you always.
Welcome back to That's IT. Well, a lot of reports have shown that women buy as much IT gadgets as men. But if you look around you, you'll realize sexy women are still favored to sell gadgets instead of handsome beefcakes.
The man used to be the predominant consumer when it comes to technology, but tech companies have now realized that they can't ignore the enormous spending power of women. And it is no secret that when it comes to shopping, even for gadgets, women shop with their emotions.
Let's say when a guy buys a mobile phone, okay, he'll check the manufacturer's website, he'll check reviews online, he'll look at magazines and stuff. And then I know girls who just like call me when they walk into a phone shop, hey, I'm thinking of buying a new phone, recommend me something. And you know, there is a big difference between those two, you know, between genders sometimes. Not to say that girls don't do research, but I think what's happening now is that in the main, products and gear, your gadgets, your handphones, your laptops, everything is now coming up with fashionable looks. I mean, it used to be only the high-end stuff that was very fashionable looking.
I think everybody now is savvy enough, tech savvy enough. We go online to to find out more about the device, to read more about the features. So if I were looking at just an ad where it's a skimpily dressed girl, okay, it might capture my attention, but I'm going to do my own research after that. It's not the ad that is the defining factor in making me buy a device.
A lot of people in Singapore, in our region actually, who buy handphones or cameras and things like this are actually ladies. So the ladies want to see how gadgets look. And another thing is that when we were asked if you're appealing to women, why don't you put a guy on your cover? And I said, we'll do that when the female magazines start putting guys on their covers. And you notice that no female magazine in Singapore really does that. So ladies like to see the latest dresses, the nice makeup, very pretty girls, but not in a overtly sexual manner.
I think girls, women buy technological products too. So I think they want to see a man with a notebook, with some other technology products. It will be great, but if you saw some advertising, there is only girls. I never seen boys with a notebook like me. I think of myself as more than pretty face. I have some knowledge about technology products, but I'm not expert.
We do not talk down to women in any way, while we may have products that are perhaps more male-skewed. We believe we also have, a good range of products that cater to the needs of our female consumers. And let's face it, there are differences, and there are different things that a female consumer might look for in a tech device compared to a male. So there's different things for different people, as we put it. So it's not around catering to anybody and everybody, but just making sure that the needs of our female consumers are just as well met as those of our male consumers.
Well, some are cool, some are sophisticated, some are sexy. Gadgets are often given an emotional expression, even though they're just there to provide us with some sort of functional service. So before we go on a break, let's have a look at some cool, sophisticated, and sexy gadgets that may make you emotionally attached to them.
First, the Sony Ericsson CyberShot camera phone. The C902 is a slim candy bar phone that allows you to capture high-quality photos. The 5-megapixel camera is hidden in the Matchbox-style slide-out, and once pulled out, the touch-sensitive shortcuts will appear on the side of the screen, cluttering the already small-looking 240 by 320 screen. This doesn't come with a Xeon flash, but it is very light, it is very slim, and it does compensate with some of the most advanced technologies that are only found in digital cameras. Philips is no newcomer when it comes to the lower-end sub-50 USD earphones, but now the company has upped its game by introducing the SHE9850. This high-end noise-canceling earphone is not only designed for females, but for music lovers as well. The audio quality is excellent when it comes to vocals, but it does lack a bit of punch from the bass. For those who enjoy club music, you can always choose the Philips SHE7750. It can save you a few bucks too. EPC's evil twin from Taiwan is finally here. The Acer Aspire 1 is a very affordable and attractive-looking mini notebook. Running on the Linux operating system, the sub-10-sec machine is quick and responsive. The One has pretty much everything its competitors have. And if you like to travel light, this is the one for you. Pardon the pun. For those who are used to the usual notebook mousepad, this may take a bit of getting used to. The battery life should be more than adequate if you're taking a flight from Singapore to Kuala Lumpur. Coming up next on That's IT, we'll tell you how advertisers think.
These are essentially emotional purchases, so they don't really sort of answer a functional need, you know.
Two Indonesian cabinet ministers implicated in a corruption scandal involving the central bank. Will the president finally stop what critics call his feet dragging on eradicating graft? That's on Primetime News.
Let Canon build a secure business environment for you. With over 70 years of digital imaging expertise, Canon provides print management solutions for security and accountability to users. Canon's team of dedicated engineers will understand your business needs and follow through with end-to-end solutions. To take your business to greater heights, get in touch with our business solutions team.
Canon, delighting you always.
Tomorrow on Primetime Morning.
As many as 1 million children worldwide die from pneumococcal disease each year, although a recent study says a simple vaccine could have prevented this. We explore the issue.
To Kill a Mockingbird, this literary classic goes on Singapore's stage as a play. Its cast and crew tell us what it means to dramatize this award-winning novel.
An artist conveys a message of heritage and history by portraying consumerism in his work in art for art's sake.
As a run-up to the 2008 Summer Olympics in Beijing, Channel News Asia takes you to China to catch a glimpse of what people are doing to add color and zest for the grand event.
对于我们每一个中国人来说，都是一件非常自豪、非常骄傲的事情。我希望大家都能够投入这里面，为我们的奥运做一定的贡献。
Catch the buzz from Beijing every night at 9:25 p.m. on Channel News Asia. The fastest machines in the world, the latest advanced technology, and the most dedicated teams all come together for the world's most expensive sport. Channel News Asia is taking you behind what goes on inside Grand Prix. From meeting the men behind the wheels to learning the latest about racing technology, it's a comprehensive look at what lies in store at the F1 World Championship. So join us inside Grand Prix for a different view on Formula One, exclusively on Channel News Asia. This program is brought to you by SC Global and co-sponsored by U21 Global, Graduate School for Global Leaders.
It is time to get you updated with what's making news this week. Google flexing some muscles with its own version of a communally constructed online encyclopedia. Knoll went live this week as Google's answer to the widely popular Wikipedia. Wikipedia allows readers to make changes to its online pages, while the Google Knoll lets folks author their own articles. So every Knoll entry is backed with a name. Google Knoll is designed in a way that it rewards users who post good content. The content owner will be reviewed and rated by other readers. And if the content provider decides to use AdSense program, it will help them generate income if their posts are well received. In the United States, a free new phone service called Slide Dial will make it easier for users to get through tough and awkward moments on the phone without actually having to talk to anyone. Slide Dial lets you connect directly with another person's voicemail, bypassing the traditional ringing process. Slide Dial is still in its startup stages, so there are some technical shortcomings. It can only be used in the US for now, and it won't work if you are using a prepaid number. The creator of Slide Dial thinks this service can be useful not only in the dating scene, but also in the hectic business world where you just want to leave a message to an associate or your boss without having to make conversation.
You're watching That's IT, and we put the spotlight on advertisers. They study our lifestyle, look at our habits and our behaviors, and they plant seeds in our brains, making us think that we have certain needs. They make us trust the brands and worship the products. How'd they do that? Well, it's our turn to find out how they work.
Many companies spend millions of dollars to create a name that everyone recognizes, but money may not be the only thing that helps brands gain recognition. Product innovations, marketing campaigns, and constantly staying relevant to the needs of the consumer also determines the growth of a brand. So, in the technology rat race, how do tech companies compete with one another?
I believe the principles of marketing any product remain the same regardless what categories you work in. It revolves mainly around knowing your customer, or consumer in our case, and really delighting him or her. There is one crucial difference, though, I believe, in our industry, and that is to do with the rate of obsolescence. We see a product being basically superseded by a newer, faster, more technologically advanced model quicker and quicker every day. I believe that if we build enduring brands, if we build emotional bonds with our consumers, I think this is the way to get around the mere physicalities of the product itself.
If it's sort of incremental innovation, then really what you should do is try and build the brand, try and build the intangible elements, try and build an emotion, try and connect with your consumer on an emotional level. If, however, you come up with a genuinely innovative breakthrough piece of technology, which I guess, we could again use iPod as an example. When the first iPod was launched, it was a genuine breakthrough innovation. And that's when you really want to talk about it. And, you want to tell people that this is something that's going to change their life. So that might be the one occasion, the one moment when a brand might benefit from talking about technologies.
The real value of innovation is in being able to have a good application that is serving a purpose. We are not in the business of pursuing innovation for its own sake. We believe that really by understanding our consumers better, what their needs are, what their wants are, we actually give a tighter brief to our designers. And in developing that tighter brief, the designers can actually come up with very innovative solutions to perhaps constraints that have been highlighted in that tight brief. And that is where we feel the real innovation lies, being able to actually give the sorts of products and services to consumers that they really want and need, and say they want and need, and for us to be able to work around the constraints.
Many of us swear by brand name technological products. We feel more confident, more assured. Who cares if they cost a whole lot more too? So is it worth it to pay more for branded goods?
Is it worth paying that sort of money for a product which is essentially the same as another one from another brand? My answer is yes. It's because they've managed to build an emotional layer on top of the product, which is intangible and therefore priceless somehow. Buying branded good is a feel-good thing. It's an emotional purchase. You rarely buy an iPod because you need the music with you. Very rarely. You buy it because you want to feel good about yourself. And it's this sense of self-worth that you get out of it, a sense of self-esteem, a sense of identity that you get out of this sort of purchase. That is worth all the money in the world.
I love creative ads. The wit and the thought put into them can be amusing, but that doesn't mean I trust them. And that's my advice for you. Before you put money on an expensive IT gadget, do your research, ask around, and watch That's IT. Speaking of which, are you ready for all the new screen technologies? That's next week. Till then, I'm Timothy Go. That's it.
Channel News Asia, a network of MediaCorp Private Limited.
To touch or not to touch? To go HD or to stay SD?
With so many options out there, we are only bound by what our fingers can do and what our eyes can see.
In standard definition, you watch TV. In HD, you experience television.
And the latest from the Connecting Your World event I attended in Berlin on That's IT, Tuesday at 8:30.
6 billion people, 6 billion stories to tell. Channel News Asia covers the stories from a distinct Asian perspective. Our team of correspondents, live on location around the world, report the news as it breaks.
Every night we'll bring you a wrap of the day's events that shape our world.
And the issues that affect you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alvin Young.
I'm Melissa Hyak and you're
Primetime News with Melissa Hyak and Melvin Young every night at 9 p.m. on Channel News Asia. Saturday on Japan Hour. Japan Hour, Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Japan Hour is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation, ANA, All Nippon Airways, Calbee, Daikin, Fatco, Far East Organization, NEC, Nikkei, Pilot Pin, and UOB Travel Planners.
Channel that I turn to when I want to get a true Asian perspective.
A name synonymous with fast, accurate news with an Asian insight.
I watch Channel News Asia every morning. I start the day, every day, watching your show, and it's fantastic.
Channel News Asia is where industry captains get their news from.
The programs to me are insightful, very interesting. It covers all aspects, and not just only on news coverage, as well as lifestyle programs, and even to topical issues, that concerns, Singaporeans and Asians.
No matter which industry you lead, if it's the Asian insight you're after.
Bottom line is if you want to know about Asia, watch Channel News Asia.
I watch Channel News Asia.
Channel News Asia, providing Asian perspectives.
Patek Philippe is one of the few remaining family-owned Swiss watch manufacturers. The company designs and produces the world's finest timepieces. Time by Patek Philippe, brought to you by Sincere Fine Watches.
Good evening, I'm Melissa Hyak and you're watching Primetime News on Channel News Asia. Top of the bulletin tonight. Malaysia's Anwar Ibrahim claims a leaked medical report proves sodomy charges against him are false. Tropical storm Feng Wong threatens southeastern China with torrential rains and landslides. 500,000 people are evacuated. South Korea's Prime Minister raises the tension level with a visit to islands claimed by Seoul and Tokyo. And all set to launch Olympic sailing events. Berths are ready for the yachts, luxury is ready for the cruise. We get a special preview. But first, Malaysia's de facto opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim has demanded that police drop the ongoing sodomy investigation against him. A leaked medical report of his accuser, Muhammad Saiful Bukhari, is set to reveal that the former aide showed no signs of being sodomized. Channel News Asia's Malaysia Bureau Chief Melissa Goh has the latest.
A vindicated Anwar said a burden has been lifted off his shoulders, as well as his family's. According to the medical report by the first doctor,
I watch Channel News Asia.
Channel News Asia, providing Asian perspectives.
Talk to me. Talk to me. If you feel the need or when you need the feeling, talk to me. If you feel the need or when you need the feeling, talk to me.
Hello everyone, I'm Timothy Goh and thanks for tuning in to That's IT. Come to think of it, are you watching us on full high-definition TV or are you watching us on an HD-ready LCD screen or on one of those bulky CRT screens? Well, doesn't matter as long as you're watching. The reason I ask is because screen technology is developing at such a fast pace that even I can't keep up. So this week we decided to take a look at all the hype around all types of screen technology that claims to change the way we interact with